The royal family has always been surrounded by celebration, tradition, and carefully controlled public moments. But sometimes, even the most innocent family occasions turn into global talking points within hours. And that's exactly what happened when Meghan Markle shared a birthday post for her son, Archie. On the surface, it was simple. A warm, emotional moment. A mother celebrating her child. A private family milestone shared with the world. But in today's world of constant scrutiny, nothing stays simple for long. Almost immediately, the post started generating mixed reactions online. Supporters praised it as heartfelt and natural. They saw it as a mother doing what any parent would do, celebrating her child's special day. But critics saw something different. They questioned the timing. They debated the intention. And once again, the Sussex family found themselves at the center of royal conversation. Because in the background of all this, another storm was quietly building. Prince Harry. Reports and online discussions suggest that around the same time, Prince Harry made comments or gestures that some interpreted as another subtle swipe at King Charles. Nothing officially confirmed. Nothing directly stated in a dramatic way. But in the world of royal commentary, even small signals can become massive headlines. And that's exactly what happened here. Suddenly, two separate moments, Meghan's birthday post and Harry's alleged remarks, started merging into one bigger narrative. A narrative of distance, of tension, of a family still struggling to find peace between public duty and private relationships. For many royal watchers, this wasn't just about a birthday post anymore. It became another chapter in the ongoing story between Prince Harry and the rest of the royal family. A story that began years ago, but still continues to evolve with every interview, every appearance, and every social media post. Buckingham Palace, as always, remains silent on these kinds of personal interpretations. And that silence only fuels more speculation from the public and media. Because when there are no clear answers, people fill in the gaps themselves. And in this case, the gaps became headlines. What was meant to be a simple birthday celebration for Archie ended up being discussed alongside royal tensions, unresolved emotions, and ongoing family distance. Whether intentional or not, it shows one clear reality. In the modern royal world, nothing exists in isolation anymore. Every post, every comment, every appearance becomes part of a much bigger story that the world is constantly watching. And as this story continues to unfold, one question remains in the air. Is this just media interpretation? Or is it another sign that the royal rift is still far from healing? Either way, the world is still watching closely, and every new moment adds another layer to the ongoing royal drama. As the discussion around Meghan Markle's birthday post continued to spread, the focus quickly shifted from a simple family celebration to something much bigger in the eyes of the public. Because in royal storytelling, moments rarely stay isolated. They connect, they overlap, and they build into a larger narrative that people follow like a never-ending series. Supporters of Meghan and Harry argue that this entire situation is being overinterpreted. To them, it's straightforward. Archie's birthday was a private family milestone, and any attempt to link it to royal tensions is just speculation amplified by social media. But critics see a different picture. They point to the timing of recent discussions, past interviews, and ongoing distance between Prince Harry and the royal household. In their view, even subtle remarks or public moments are enough to reignite old tensions. And that's what keeps the story alive. Because unlike traditional royal disputes of the past, today's conflict unfolds in real time, on Instagram posts, interviews, podcasts, and global headlines within minutes. Meanwhile, King Charles and the rest of the royal family have remained publicly silent on the matter. No responses. No clarifications. No engagement with the speculation. But silence in royal circles is never empty. It often speaks louder than words. And for many observers, that silence adds even more weight to the ongoing discussion. Inside all of this, Prince Harry's relationship with his family continues to be one of the most closely watched dynamics in modern royalty. Every appearance he makes, every statement he gives, is analyzed for meaning beyond the surface. And that's exactly why, even the smallest perceived swipe can turn into a global talking point overnight. At the same time, Meghan Markle continues to focus on her family life, public projects, and maintaining control over her own narrative outside of royal duties. But no matter how separate these paths may seem, the world keeps connecting them back to the same story. A story of distance, reflection, and a royal family still navigating life after major change. And perhaps the biggest question remaining is not about one birthday post or one comment. It's about what comes next. Will the distance continue to grow through silence and interpretation? Or is there still a possibility, however distant, of rebuilding trust within the family? For now, there are no answers, only speculation, and a global audience still watching every move, waiting for the next chapter in this ongoing royal saga. And as the speculation continues to grow, one thing becomes even clearer. This story is no longer just about individuals. It has become about perception, timing, and how every action is interpreted on a global stage. Because in the modern royal era, the line between private life and public narrative is almost invisible. A birthday message becomes a headline, a comment becomes a controversy, and silence becomes a statement of its own. That's why this situation around Meghan Markle, Prince Harry, and King Charles continues to dominate conversations. It isn't driven by official confirmations, but by interpretation, analysis, and public curiosity that never really fades. Royal experts and commentators often point out that this cycle repeats itself again and again. A moment happens, media outlets pick it up, social platforms amplify it, and within hours, a single post can transform into a worldwide discussion about royal unity or division. And in this case, Archie's birthday post simply became the starting point of another wave. Meanwhile, Prince Harry's position remains complicated. Living outside royal duties, he continues to balance personal life, public appearances, and ongoing media attention that still ties him back to the institution he stepped away from. Every word he speaks is weighed against history. Every silence is analyzed for meaning. And King Charles, now at the center of the monarchy, continues to maintain a public image of stability and duty, even as private family dynamics remain under constant public scrutiny. But despite all the headlines, one reality remains unchanged. None of these interpretations have been officially confirmed by Buckingham Palace or the individuals involved. And that's where the tension between fact and narrative becomes most visible. Because audiences today don't just consume news, they interpret it, debate it, and expand it into something larger than what was originally there. So what began as a simple birthday celebration has evolved into yet another chapter in an ongoing global conversation about the royal family. A conversation filled with emotion, speculation, loyalty, criticism, and curiosity. And as long as the key figures remain in the public eye, that conversation is unlikely to fade. Instead, it will continue to shift, grow, and resurface with every new post, every interview, and every small moment that catches the world's attention. For now, the story remains open-ended. No final answers. No clear resolution. Just the next question waiting to be asked, and the next headline waiting to be written. And that's exactly why this royal story keeps returning to the spotlight, because it doesn't have a clear ending. Every time the public thinks the conversation might settle, something new brings it back again. A post, a comment, a photo, or even silence that feels meaningful enough to be analyzed. In the case of Meghan Markle's Archie birthday post, what could have remained a quiet, personal moment instead became part of a much larger ongoing narrative surrounding the Sussexes and the royal family. And whether people agree with the interpretation or not, the impact is the same. Attention shifts instantly. Social media plays a huge role in this cycle. Within minutes, posts are shared, screenshots are taken, and opinions multiply. What starts as a family celebration quickly turns into a global discussion with thousands of competing interpretations. Some see emotional distance between Harry and his royal relatives. Others see media exaggeration built on assumptions. And many simply watch the situation unfold without drawing firm conclusions, waiting for something official to clarify the picture. But the reality is, clarity is rare in stories like this. because modern royal dynamics don't usually play out through direct statements. They unfold through carefully managed appearances, rare interviews, and carefully chosen silence. And silence, in particular, becomes one of the most powerful elements in this entire discussion. It leaves room for interpretation. It allows narratives to grow in different directions. And it keeps public attention locked in, searching for meaning that may or may not exist. At the center of it all, Prince Harry remains one of the most discussed royal figures in the world. His choices, his words, and even his absence from certain events continue to fuel global interest. Meghan Markle, meanwhile, continues to shape her own identity outside traditional royal expectations, focusing on personal projects, family life, and a different kind of public presence. And King Charles, as monarch, carries the weight of both institution and family, often forced to maintain a formal public silence even as speculation continues around him. So when people connect these separate threads into one storyline, it creates a powerful narrative, but not always a confirmed one. And that's the key difference between what is observed and what is assumed, between what is said and what is interpreted. As this story continues to circulate online, one truth stands out more than anything else. The world is still deeply interested in the royal family, not just for what they do publicly, but for what is believed to be happening behind the scenes. And as long as that curiosity exists, stories like this will continue to evolve, expand, and dominate headlines. For now, though, there is no official closure, only ongoing discussion. And the next moment, small or large, that will once again shift the entire conversation in a new direction. And maybe that is where this story ultimately settles for now. Not with a dramatic conclusion, not with a confirmed statement, and not with any clear resolution, but in that quiet space where public curiosity meets private reality. Because at the heart of it, this isn't just a story about a birthday post, or a single comment, or one interpreted moment of tension. It's a reflection of how modern royal life exists in front of the world, where every gesture is magnified, every silence is filled with meaning, and every family moment can instantly become global news. Meghan Markle, Prince Harry, and King Charles each remain on their own paths, carrying responsibilities, choices, and personal histories that the public only ever sees pieces of. And those pieces are often rearranged by headlines, discussions, and online debates into a story that feels complete, but rarely ever is. So, as this particular wave of speculation slowly settles, what remains is not an answer, but awareness. Awareness that the line between fact and interpretation is thinner than ever. And awareness that in the world of royalty, some chapters don't end, they simply pause, waiting for the next moment to begin again. And until that next moment arrives, the story remains exactly where it is now. Open, unfinished, and still being written in real time.